Good morning.
Would like to thank you for giving us an opportunity to interview you regarding the privileged wills uh,
Wills.
from the Wills Act 1959.
Yeah.
So, before going into the interview session,
Okay.
I would like to introduce ourselves first.
Okay.
I'm Vaishnavi.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Nur Namira.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Hashima, miss.
Hi. Hi, Ashima.
My name is Nur Fatih Hamis. Hi.
Hi, Fatin. Fatin, right?
Yes, it's Fatih.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss. My name is Intan.
Hi, Intan.
My name is Muhammad Anwar.
Hi, Anwar.
Hi, Miss. My name is Yuvarshana.
Hi, Shivashana. Hi. You
Hi.
were Shana,
Yeah,
right?
Yuvarshana. Yeah.
You are Shana. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I would like to introduce Ms. Paramis. She holds a Bachelor of Jurisprudence externally from the University of Malaya. And about her working experience, she has been working in the legal line for the past 22 years. And from the year 1999 to 2010, she was a senior conveyancing legal clerk. From the year 2011 to 2018, she was a legal advisor, more on corporate and trade banking matters. And from October 2019, she is a lawyer who deals with matters regarding to corporate and trade finance and banking matters. So it was a really difficult task to find a lawyer who would explain about privileged wills. We are so grateful for having you here today, Miss.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll directly go into the questions.
Okay.
So I'll go with the first question. What are the important legal principles that we must know about the privileged wills?
Okay. First of all, our discussion today is about the topic of privilege will. Before we start with this topic, I would like to explain what is a will about. You all know what's a will about?
Not really, Miss.
I mean, you all know what is a will?
Yes.
Yes.
Why we prepare a will? Okay. Basically, a will is a declaration intended to have a legal effect of the intention of a testator with respect to his property or other matters which he desires to be carried into effect after his death. That's why we are preparing a will. When a person passed away, before he passed away, he want to willingly give it to his spouse, the children, the mother, you know. But contrast, why we having this privilege will? What is privilege will actually? At most, everyone knows what a will means, right? But not many know that it actually has two meanings. One is what I explained just now, a will. The first meaning is a metaphysical and denotes the sum of property, investment, and money that a testator wishes to be distributed upon his death. The second and more common meaning is physical and denotes the document itself. Okay, generally, for all wills to be valid, they must be in writing and execute in accordance with the Wills Act 1959, where when we prepare a will, there must be two witnesses, right? But the only exception to this is a privileged will, which is a will made by soldiers, airmen, and sailors. The provision for this in our Wills Act is under Section 26. Okay, and for the first question, what are the important legal principles that we must know about privilege will? The important legal principles that we must know about this privilege will is that privilege will is the right of a soldier, airman, and sailors to dispose of their property during actual military service and at the sea. respectively. The sustainable of this right leads to economic prosperity and social justice. The provisions under Section 21, Sub 1 of the Wills Act 1959 will explain and reads as a member of the armed forces of Malaysia being in actual military services and a mariner and seaman, including a member of the Navy Forces of Malaysia, being at sea, may dispose of property and at off, okay, guardianship, custody, and the tuition of a child, their child, and may exercise a power of appoint, exercised by oral, maybe they say before they are dead, they say, I'm willingly appoint my wife to be my executor, I'm willingly to give my property to my wife, my child is still young, they can't write a will. So immediately they will, how to explain, maybe the debt, they are facing the debt. Sometimes they are in the war zone and they don't have time to write. Immediately I'll tell to my friend, give all my properties to my child, to my spouse, so that's why we need this privilege will. It is clear that seaman and a person in military means the person who prepared the privilege will must be in actual military service. And what is actual military service? What is actual military service? Do you all know? Hello?
Yes, I
Me?
don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
Navy.
yeah, where so military, actual military service means there has been service in this as a soldier, okay, as a navy officer, army man, okay, that's what they have to be in that actual military service. In some studies has shows that this privilege will is same as will that we are preparing for normal person, a lay person, okay. So other than that, any question on this?
No, Miss. It's really clear. We could get an image of what privilege wills is now.
Pardon?
Now we could understand what privilege wills are because we couldn't get any information about this will, even in our
Okay.
language. So since you've explained this much, we could really understand what privilege wills mean and
Okay,
how.
it's more used in force actually because they fail. Because you know why they don't have time. Sometimes they just will be in the situation where they don't have time. They don't have a phone. They don't have anything to do. They only have that few minutes. Give my property to this person. That's why this privilege will comes. Those days when like World War II, uh, so many of them died and we don't know what happened over there. And sometimes this family don't know to whom he had given his property. Okay.
Thank you, Miss. Can we
Okay.
go to the second question now, Miss?
Can.
Is an oral declaration of will be witnessed?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Actually, for an oral declaration for this privilege will, do you think he, when he making that will, okay, by oral, can he get someone to attest the will? Do he have a time to write it and get someone to sign the will to attest his signature? No, right? For our Malaysian law, a privilege will may be oral and in form of writing, but need not be signed by the testator or to be attested that oral declaration. There is no requirement for any witnesses, although an oral declaration must, of course, to be witnessed for there to be any evidence of it. Okay, let's say I'm going to die now. I say, oh my God, what happened? But immediately I just grab, give my will to my spouse. That's it. It's evidence that I told that to my, my colleague. So it's not necessary actually, but if you ask me, it should be witnessed because later there will be some problems. I will explain later.
Miss. Thank you, Miss. And
Okay.
for the third question, can a privilege will be
Mhm.
revoked once an army officer leaves the war zone?
Okay, for our Malaysian law, 1959, privilege wills become null upon expiry of 1 month after the testator, being still alive, ceases to be a soldier in actual military service or a mariner or seaman at sea. Once he back life and he's okay after a month, that the privilege will be null. A simple answer for that.
Thank you, Miss. Now,
Okay,
the other questions will be asked by Varshana.
Okay, Miss, shall we move on to the next question?
can.
Okay, do you think that the Muslim should be given an option to create a privilege bill?
If you ask me personally, I think they should. Okay, in Malaysia, despite the benefits of having a large will, it is found that there are a lot of problems surrounding the applicable of this law. Okay, even though the Wills Act 1959 and the Sabah Wills Ordinance give freedom to the soldiers, airmen, or the sailors to make this privilege will, but however, at the same time, there is no clear legal provisions on how Muslims and native soldiers may make privilege will when they are in actual military service. Okay, I don't think so. Our friends Muslims, when they are soldiers, do you think they have to go under the Islamic law? I mean, under the Sharia principles, make a will, you know, upon their death. Consider they are going to die. Do they have time? I don't think so. It's not fair for them actually. If you really ask me, I feel our Malaysian government need to amend at this. Maybe they have to like alter for this particular privilege will for our Muslim friends and the native soldiers. And some of the problems faced in the practice of privilege will in Malaysia is mainly on the inapplicability and the sustainability of privilege will among our soldiers, members of Navy forces and seamen in Malaysia. And this is important lah for our Muslim friends. Okay, and I believe that our government shall not only maintain the provisions of law on privilege wills, but shall also support the idea to extend the provision of law on privilege wills to Muslim friends according to the condition preferable under the Sharia principles.
Okay,
So
Miss.
I really agree that they can alter something lah for this.
All right. So for the next question, how can this privileged will benefit the militaries?
Okay. As far the benefits of this privilege will, which we can acknowledge and knows that the privilege will law is good. And of will to the Section 26 Wills Act 1959 and the Sabah Will Ordinance, it does not matter whether the soldiers have high or low level of education, or they are able to consult someone, as just now I said, can they go and discuss whether to whom I have to give this property, to whom I have to give my guardianship, they don't have. But as long as they are in combat and sea, they are facing their death, they can immediately make the privilege will without attestation or in because it's an unavoidable scenario, and having a privilege will for a family who lost their family members in war or sea, it can help these families to avoid any legal hassles related to the property matter or guardianship of the child. And I believe the minimum age criteria to sign a will or prepare a will is age of 18, right? Okay, but for this, like those days, even youngsters can be a soldier. they can just join, those days. There is no age limitation, like 17, 16, even I think 14, 15 will be in this being an army man trying to save our country. And there is no age limitation to prepare this privilege will. And this privilege will also can be executed in a very short time. I said, okay, give this, not even a minute. That's it. So no duration, longer duration to prepare this privilege will. And this is extremely helpful in situation when a seaman is about to put his life at, danger.
Yeah, now I think we are clear about the benefit that they might receive. As for the last question, what are the issues or difficulties that could arise in relation to privilege wills?
Okay, this is one part which I myself have problem. I really done some research, and the only thing I came, which I believe I also agree, possibility of fraud. When one person is facing the debt, another person is beside him, and he said, "Please give this property to my child," and he passed away. What will happen in case this man trying to play hanky panky? Once he's out, he said, "Oh, this man A has given his properties to me," and I think there is some cases also has proven this for privilege will. So the family will lose everything. This is the difficulty and the issue many, I think, they had faced for this privilege will, the fraud. The lack of formalities required for this privilege will lead to fraud, I think. And also, several people might also collude in defrauding a testator estate. As I said, it's a fraud. They might pay a compliance. Maybe there's another person. This person can say, this A person can say to the B person, "I'll pay you, just help me." So many frauds. It's like, it's not fair enough. The only issue I feel it could arise in this privilege will. Okay. And another thing, this is what I thought. There is situation of a time when this guy is facing his death. He don't even have a time to think to whom he have to give. Immediately, maybe he think his mother. He want to give it to the mother actually. But immediately he say, he tried get this A person to help to get my property to go to this my mother. But before he finish, sorry, because I receive a call actually. Okay, before the message goes to the mother, to the friend, it goes to the friend. The will, privilege will, consider to the friend and not until he finished the sentence, it goes to the mother. So I think this situation is unavoidable, but I think this is the disadvantage of this privilege will, especially when these people are facing their death. Other than that, I don't think so any others. This fraud lah, mainly this fraud. Okay.
Miss, do you think there's any solution to overcome this?
Solution to overcome this fraud, is it?
Yeah.
Unless before, okay, maybe for those days, there is no any facilities for them to prepare a will, right? Now, before they go to war or anything, I think they have plenty of time, especially at this moment, at this era, they can prepare a normal will before they enter. I feel they can prepare the will before they goes to the war or to the sea. Because the advantage that what we have these days, they can discuss, they can see a lawyer, they can have conversation, discussion, they can appoint their trustee, so many things they can do, which those days we don't have anything. So I prefer maybe we can do that as a solution. But for certain, especially maybe some people, they actually, if you really ask me nowadays, not many preparing a will. They You say it's okay, but we don't know what will happen in any time, that it will come in any moment. So I think we go for a normal will is better.
Okay, thank you, Miss.